Hey, welcome, guys. Tell the Truth Monday. The truth is, we played a very well-coached Alabama team, very good Alabama team. Probably the best front seven we've seen all year, and maybe the best front seven that's been in college football for a while. My job as a head coach today is to put it away. We're going to talk to the team. We're going to identify the things that went wrong, the things that went well. And it's awfully important, especially this week, that we forget about last week and we move on to Arkansas, a very tough opponent. On offense, some of the things that we didn't do well, and obviously you guys know, we got the ball in plus territory twice, and we came away with no points. I thought that was critical in the ball game, that we were able to get points early. The outcome would have been a little bit different, or the game would have been in our control a little bit. On offense, it came down again to execution, to pass protection, to run blocking. Poor job on substitution at critical times, cost us 2 timeouts. And 3rd and 3, the delay of game on the 35-yard line, the score was 0-0. And the next play was a sack. I thought that was critical. We met as a staff, and we met offensively, and we identified some things that we need to fix. Obviously, there's some things that we need to fix in protection. Some plays didn't work, and we need to communicate better on the sideline and getting the plays in on time so we don't have these critical mistakes. Obviously, there were some receivers that were open. Danny didn't get the ball to them, sometimes under pressure, sometimes not. We need to identify those things and get better at them this week. On defense, we're pleased the way we played. Since we took over, Dave Aranda's defense has held opponents scoreless 10 out of 16 quarters. We held Alabama to a season low for points, 10, total yards 323, and passing yards 106. And that was a tremendous job by our team. It was the first Alabama team held scoreless since 2007, for the first time since 2007 in the first half. But we did not play for 60 minutes. We let the quarterback make 2 long runs on us. We missed some tackles. We missed some assignments. So, again, it came down to execution and tackling for 60 minutes. On special teams, I was very pleased with the play of the special teams. I think we've made improvement over the last couple of weeks. We've down 5 punts inside the 12-yard line with a net punt average of 41 yards. And our kickoff return averaged 27 yards per return. Obviously, we're disappointed with the catching the punt. We don't want to catch it inside the 10-yard line. It was a poor decision by Tre'Davious, and I will get that fixed. I thought the late hit on the quarterback, it was 3rd down and 5. He gains 2 yards, kept the drive alive. It resulted in a touchdown. That was a critical penalty in the ball game. But these are the things we're going to talk to with the team. I know they're going to be disappointed. I know they gave their heart and soul, and they expected to win this game, and throughout the game they thought they were going to win the game, and they gave it everything they had. For that, I want to commend their effort. It was a great night in Tiger Stadium. It was a classic LSU-Alabama match, a great Tiger walk. All the former players come, and what a great atmosphere it was. And we just didn't get the result that we wanted. But it's time to move on. This is Game 5 of our new season. We promised each other we're going to take it one game at a time. Like I said, it's going to be important to put this one away and move on to a tough, very tough Arkansas team who plays very good at home. The only loss at home, I believe, is to Alabama, and I believe they put 30 points on Alabama. Coach Belema's team is a very physical football team. They always have. They had almost 300 yards rushing against us last year. They've beaten us 2 years in a row. They're going to come into this game with confidence. We need to go on the road and really play a tough, physical Arkansas game, but we're going to be ready to do that. Their turnover margin is even. Their offense is pro style. We'll see a lot more 21, 12, and 23 personnel with 2 backs in the backfield, more than we've seen. They lead the SEC in time of possession. Their quarterback, junior Austin Allens, is a very good passer. He's a very mobile quarterback, along with Riley Williams, number 22, has almost 1,000 yards rushing. They have a gigantic offensive line. They're very big. Their tackles 6'10", 300-something pounds. They're very good. They're very well coached. They run the wham. They run the pin and pull schemes, the powers. It's a very pro-style offense. Tough. They use their tight ends well. The tight ends run block well, and they use them in the passing game fantastic. On defense, they have 6 returning starters. They're giving up 407 yards per game, almost 200 yards rushing, and 208 yards passing. This is going to be a tremendous week for us. Game 5 of our new season, and it's going to be a challenging week to get over a very tough loss. It's our first one in our season, but we must respond. Any questions?
Hey, Coach. Leonard, last year's loss to Alabama really kind of put him in poor spirits and everything. How is he handling this one, and what do you see for him in the final 3 games, with people talking to him about the NFL and all these different things?
I expect him to play well. I expect him to come back with a great attitude today. I expect him to shake it off and have a very good game against Arkansas and finish strong. I know a lot of these guys want to finish strong. A lot of the seniors, a lot of the juniors, they came back. And they're looking, I think we're just getting started, to be honest with you. I think we found something in that football game that we hadn't had to do. We dug deep as a family. We overcame some adversity. We fought a very good football team. Look, we're not going to, there's no moral victory. We played Alabama 10-0. We played them very tight. It was scoreless going into the 4th quarter. We got a lot of things to build in. I'm going to be very positive with our team today, and I know Leonard will too.
Coach, back here in the back. With the Alabama game, 2 weeks of lead up, so much goes into that game. You've been a part of a couple of them now here at LSU, but how taxing is it mentally for you, your guys and for your team going into that game and then obviously coming out with a loss?
I think we all felt it yesterday. I mean, all of us, I think, had to deal with some kind of emotional letdown. I think all of us had that hurt in our belly. But when we get around each other today, it's going to be positive. We'll look forward to it. When we started this thing in our new season, we promised each other we're going to take it one game at a time. I think it's a mindset. Whether we've done well, look, we've beat some teams very handily, and we made some offensive records, and we had to go back the next day and say, listen, we've got to forget about it, move forward. This is the same approach. It'll be the same approach this week, and I think the guys will handle it well.
In the middle, Coach, you mentioned the penalty on Hurts. Do you plan to submit that one or any others to the league office for review or explanation?
Yeah, we have several ones that we're going to send over to the league office. I usually don't do it, but this week I did. And I think there were some very questionable things out there that happened, and I'd just like to know the explanations.
Hey, Coach, along that train of thought there, the 3 unsportsmanlike, that first hit that started everything, should that have been called differently in your mind?
Well, it was called the way it was called, and we sent some stuff in. We're going to get an interpretation, and I'm going to let the league office let me know what their interpretation is and just follow that.
Coach, here in the middle. Alabama has obviously gone to a different quarterback than they used to have, and they're employing a lot more spread techniques. Yeah. And Ole Miss has had a lot of success the last 3 years.
Yeah.
Not only moving the football on them, but scoring.
Yeah.
Does that maybe give you a pause to rethink about the approach, not this year, that you would take in the future about what you do against a team like that has such a great defensive front?
Yes, no question. I mean, there are some things that we looked at, and, hindsight's 20/20. We should have protected the quarterback better. There are some things that we need to do against a great defensive front. There's certain type of offensive scheme that you can spread people out and have a mobile quarterback that would help against that. There's no question. There's more things that you can do. I think the spread offense is here to stay. The spread offensive coaches are here to stay. Those guys will score 40, 45 points until they come against Dave Aranda.
Back in the middle again, Coach. With the possibility of an SEC championship now off the table, and that was obviously a goal for your guys, what do you tell them to motivate them for the rest of the season to prevent the letdown that's happened the past few years in November?
Well, let me say this to you. When we took over the team, we didn't talk about any goals. We were going to play with energy, we were going to play with excitement, and we're going to play one game at a time, and none of that has changed. There was no talk of championships. There was no talk about the future. It was talk about let's practice better today, let's take care of today, and let's take it one game at a time, and that remains.
Ed, it's kind of rare you face a pro-style offense. What does it mean for your defense as far as personnel? How will it look differently than it has?
Well, playing against a pro-style offense, more base. Obviously, we're going to have to play more base. We're going to have to hone down our run skills, tackling. Those guys are very good. I watched the film this morning. 2 yards, 2 yards, 70. 2 yards, 2 yards, 60. Very explosive plays. They try to wear you down. They bring in different personnel. We're going to have to be ready to play our base and dig in and play against the run. And this quarterback's very good. He can throw the ball.
Coach, after reviewing your offensive attack against Alabama, is there anything that you would change as far as the game plan is concerned? And could Brandon have helped at all, a guy that can scramble a bit and has a big arm?
Yes, we would have changed a lot of stuff. And obviously, hindsight's 20/20. But look, I started this thing. I gave it to Coach Ensminger and those guys to manage their group and not second guess anything. So everybody can figure out after what went wrong. But before, those guys were on fire. They did a tremendous job for us, for the LSU family in 3 weeks. So I'm not going to second guess them. Obviously, we see some things that didn't work. We all saw that. In order for us to take out Danny, we would have to really think that Brandon could go in there and do a better job. And he'd have to show us that in practice. And right now, we don't believe that. Right now, we believe that Danny is our quarterback. Not that Brandon can't play or nothing like that. We think that Danny gives us our best chance to win.
Coach, back in the back, as good as Arkansas has been at controlling the time of possession, will you guys try and change the offensive game plan and the play calling to keep your defense off the field, or just trust that your defense can be efficient?
I trust that our defense is going to be efficient. In order for us to have success, we need to do what our offense does best. And, when you go back to these first 3 games we played, we ran the ball very effectively. We had some great play action. We took shots down the field. We managed the clock. We had some long drives. We got to go back to doing that now. Obviously, the team that we just played had a lot to do with it because we couldn't block their front seven.
Coach, here in the middle. What do you make of Brett Bielema's coaching style? He's very player-friendly like yourself. And
Yeah.
What impressed you the most about him?
I like him. I think he's done a very good job. I love his recruiting. I went there a couple of years ago with on my year off and watched him practice, studied around. I love the way he runs his football team. It's the biggest football team I've ever seen in college football. His lines are bigger than some NFL team. I like his physical style approach. He's a player's coach. He's a good recruiter. I think he's done a fantastic job. I've spent 2 years in Fayetteville, Arkansas. It's a wonderful place. In fact, I loved it. It was one of my favorite places I ever coached, but it's not easy to recruit up there. They're doing a good job of recruiting 2- and 3-star players and developing them into guys that are playing like 5-star players.
Coach, straight in the back, your review of Danny Etling on the tape, the throws with the pressure aside, the ones that he just misfired on, was he just nervous?
It seemed like it. He sure did. I mean, it was totally out of his character. There were some plays that the receivers were wide open. I think it was the first 3rd down. He threw the ball in the dirt. It seemed like he was nervous or anticipated getting hit. I don't know. I didn't see him yet. I didn't talk to him. It was totally unlike his character, but he did not play well.
And speaking of character, the opportunity for your team to show their character in these last couple of games following that disappointing loss, how much of an opportunity is that?
Say that again now.
Just the opportunity to show some resiliency after that disappointment.
There's no question. I know we're going to bounce back. I know these guys. I know this team. I've been with them. And this is not going to affect us. This last game, we will not let Game 4 affect Game 5. We're going to be mentally tough. We're going to go up there. We know how tough Arkansas is to play, especially in Fayetteville. This is a big game for Arkansas. This is a big game for us. But it's Game 5 all season. We'll continue the same approach and get better. I believe we're just getting started.
Hey, Coach, I know some of the fans were disappointed the disparity in how you used Leonard and Darius. I think it was like 17-2. Can you speak to that?
Well, I think that the game plan called for us giving Leonard the ball as much as we could. We knew how much he wanted it, and we wanted to give him that opportunity. And I feel bad that we weren't able to put him in the position to make plays. You guys saw we tried throwing him passes. We tried doing everything that we possibly could. Just nothing was working that night. And I feel bad for Leonard. I feel bad for our team. I thought Darius ran the ball and ran it twice. He ran it very well. He's tough. We like Darius, and hopefully we use him more this game.
Coach, back here in the middle, if it turns out like a lot of people think, Alabama's going to have a fifth offensive lineman drafted in the first round since 2013. Looking at the video, do you think that was a difference in the game, and is that an area moving forward in the future that you think you would have to make a ramp up there?
And you said you meant
Offensive line and your offensive line.
Oh, yeah.
Their
Yes.
offensive line.
Okay, I got you.
They had guys that we never heard of.
Yeah.
Well, we heard of them, but
Yeah.
guys who are far less famous than Leonard,
Yes.
averaging 4 yards a carry. Do
Yes.
you think that's a big thing?
No question. No question. And the one that's at the left tackle in Alabama should be here. And so we need to get better. We need to get bigger. We need to get stronger. And we need to have guys getting drafted in the first round to be able to block first rounders on the other side. I think you bring up a very good point.
Coach, back here in the back again, obviously the trend the last couple of years has been a little bit of a letdown the week after Alabama. Do you feel like this group kind of takes pride in the fact that they can be the team that kind of reverses that trend?
Yeah, listen, I do believe that the mindset is going to be game 5. I do believe that we have some guys that came back that want to finish very strong. To the older guys in this on this football team, we have a lot of juniors that came back. They want to finish strong. I'm sure they're thinking about going to a good bowl game. They want to finish with a winning season. They want to finish. They gave everything for LSU. So I think we have a lot riding on the line.
Ed, I think there's a 10 to 12 Louisiana guys on Arkansas's
Yeah.
roster. What is that going to be like, that dynamic facing guys from this state?
It means a lot to them. We worked that out, 10 or 12. I think 5 are starting. It's going to mean a lot to those guys. But listen, this is never going to be about them. It's always going to be about us. It's going to be our preparation this week, giving it everything we got one day at a time. I think today's Tell the Truth Monday is probably the most significant Monday we've had all season. The way we're going to approach this, the way we're going to talk to the team, the way they're going to handle it, the way they're going to put it away, and then we'll come back tomorrow for competition Tuesday, take it one day at a time. It's our first time traveling together. I really expect them to treat this as a business trip, to walk on the plane expecting to play well, take care of their family, take care of their unit, and I think it's going to be a great week for the Tigers.
Coach in the back, do you think that the later kickoff time will be an advantage, or will it make a difference in the game?
Say it again.
Do you think the late kickoff time will be an advantage, or do you think it'll help make a difference in you guys' game?
I couldn't hear that second word.
The late kickoff time. Do you
The
think
late
it
kickoff?
will be an advantage or help
Yeah.
make a difference at all?
Here's whatever it is, it is. You know what I'm saying? It just we block that out of our mind. We make arrangements to be very, very organized during the day, and whatever time it is, we go get it.
This is your first time taking this team on the road, as you just alluded to. I mean, do you have to do anything differently from those first 2 trips way back at the beginning of the season to Auburn and Wisconsin?
Yeah, when. Good question. No, we're gonna get crowd noise piped in, and really talk about focus, about why we're on the trip, motivate them, have a great team meeting on Friday night. We do a different routine now than we've done on the road in the past. We feel that on Saturday we have tremendous meetings. We have tremendous meetings that gear up to that one time we get on the bus, we make sure that we're totally focused in. Those types of things.
Ed, over here. Do you have an update on KJ Malone at this point, or?
I think he's going to be fine. Yeah.
Coach, the boot that the two teams play for, Arkansas, to them it seems like it's really a big deal, and here it just hasn't translated that way. What's your opinion on that?
I think you're right on that. I think that, like I say, this, look, I have in-laws in Arkansas. I know what it means to them, and this is I coached at Arkansas. I know that, and I coached at other schools in the SEC, and it just seems like every time somebody plays LSU, it's their game of the year, and I get that. That's why you come here. And although it would be nice to bring the boot home, I don't think that will be our single most motivation this week. Anybody else? Thank you, guys. Have a great day.